All right, welcome to chapter 10. There are a few things that we need to know for chapter 10. We're shifting gears into measurement and length right now and units of measurement. So just chapter 10. And let's just put it under vocabulary, but we're gonna copy down a little table here, and then there are a couple of vocabulary words that we need to go over. So a table, okay, so we're gonna make this table, give it a couple of lines here. Oh, I have to sneeze, excuse me. Oh, I apologize. Oh my goodness. Okay. And let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my word, excuse me. All right, so we need 7 spaces, but the 3 on the ends can be a little bit smaller than the one in the middle. The middle one we need a little bit more room for. So make your table, look something like this. And this is kind of a measurement. So we have our place value chart. So this is kind of like a measurement place value chart, so to speak. Okay, so measurement place value is what I'll call it. All right, so our regular place value has like ones, tens, hundreds, and 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and then we have the decimal side. So that's kind of what we're gonna refer to this chart as, okay? So this big box here, we're gonna write start here, okay? So this is kind of like our 0, okay? And in this box, it can either be a meter, a liter, or a gram. Okay, so we have meters, liters, grams. So meter is distance, liter is liquid, and gram is weight. Okay, and then with these terms here, we can have some prefixes added onto them. So this is going to be, the first box is deca, D-E-K-A. And then we go hecto, H-E-C-T-O, and then we go kilo, K-I-L-O. Okay, those are some prefixes. So those would be getting larger, okay? And then we have some prefixes that means a smaller, okay? So this is like a unit. This is smaller, like a fraction of a unit, and multiplying the unit, okay? So we're gonna say that this one gets larger and this side is smaller. All right, so for these prefixes, we have deci, so D-E-C-I, centi, like centimeter, C-E-N-T-I, and then milli, M-I-L-L-I, like a millimeter, milliliter. Okay, centiliter, centigram, centimeter, decimeter, decigram, deciliter type things. All right. Okay, so pause here if you need that chart, and then let's go over some vocabulary that we're going to need to know. All right, first vocabulary word that we're going to talk about is capacity. Capacity is the amount something can hold, okay? The amount a container can hold. All right. And then the next one that we'll talk about is weight. How heavy an object is. Okay, pause here if you need those first two. Okay, and then we have decimeter, DECI. So we have decimeter, and it's a metric unit because everywhere else in the world uses metrics, so you should be familiar with them. A metric unit to measure length or distance. So 10 meters equals, or 10 decimeters, sorry. Ten decimeters equals 1 meter. All right, so deci is here. So this is like the tenths position, the hundredths, the thousandths, okay? So it's going to take 10 of these decimeters to get to 1 meter. All right, and then we have decameter, and this one is used to measure length or distance, okay? So the same thing, a metric unit used to measure length or distance. And this one, so 10 meters equals a decameter. Okay, so pause here if you need that. And then we have 2 more. We're going to talk about milligram and milliliter. And we'll do those. I'm out of space on my page, so we'll go to the back. Okay, so pause if you need this. All right, milligram. Start with milligram. Milligram is a metric unit used to measure mass, okay? Used to measure mass. And this one, 1 milligram is 1,000th of a gram. Okay, so very, very small. A paper clip is a gram. Okay, and I know that you've talked about that over the years throughout math, but a lot of teachers use paper clips. A paper clip weighs a gram, okay? So a milligram is even less weight than a paper clip. Okay, and then, so I don't know, in parentheses, very small, okay? And then we have a milliliter. Oops. Lots of I's in milliliter. A milliliter is a metric unit used to measure capacity. So gram is weight. Capacity is how much is inside, okay? Like inside of a jar, inside of a cup, inside of a bathtub, inside of a box, okay? Inside of something. And a milliliter is very small, okay? So 1 milliliter equals 1,000th of a liter. Okay, so those things of soda pop you get at the store, those are 2-liter bottles. So 1 liter is half that size, and sometimes you can get like a liter bottle, sometimes like at a gas station or something like that. They sell water in liters. So a milliliter is taking that liter of liquid and it's getting 1/1000th of that. So if you were to split all that liquid into 1,000 pieces, that's how much liquid you would have. Okay, so very small. Okay. All right, pause there if you need any of those. And then we'll go ahead and start with 10.1. Okay. So 10.1 is customary length. That says, how can you compare and convert customary units of length? Okay, so customary length is going to be what we use here in the United States, talking about miles, inches, yards, feet, that sort of thing, okay? So, okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to flip over to 10.1. And 10.1 has this lovely, what page is it? Oh, it's on the back of this page right here. It says customary units of length. I'm going to copy that chart down, okay? So we have lesson 10.1. And customary length. And you should be pretty familiar with all of these terms just from over the years of school. So customary length, and then I'm gonna make this chart right here. So customary units of length. Okay, we have 1 foot, FT for abbreviation, equals 12 inches. Okay, IN for abbreviation. Then we have 1 yard, YD, equals 3 feet. The next unit we have is 1 mile, MI, sorry. I was like, M is meter, MI, equals 5,280 feet. Then we have 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards. Okay. So that chart is just on page 586, so on the back where the examples are, but it's just nice to have it down here, and it'll be good for your test. So make sure you get that copy down. So pause here if you need to. Also, if you have not watched the Interactive Student Edition, I would really suggest watching that and then coming back and finishing this video. All right, the essential question is, how can you compare and convert customary units of length? Says to build a new swing, Mr. Matson needs 9 feet of rope for each side of the swing and 6 more feet for the monkey bar. The hardware store sells rope by the yard. How many feet of rope does Mr. Matson need for the swing? So it says he needs 9 feet of rope for the swing. Okay, so he needs 9 feet. Okay. Then it says, how many feet does Mr. Matson need for the swing and the monkey bar combined? So he needs 6 more for the monkey bar. So we do 9, add 6, gives us 15 feet total. All right. Okay. So we need 15 feet. It says Mr. Matson needs to find how many yards of rope he needs to buy. He will need to convert 24 feet to yards. How many groups of 3 feet are in 24 feet? Okay, so he needs to convert to yards. So this is 12 inches is a foot, and this is another foot. Okay, and hold on, I'm trying to think of what it's trying. Okay, 3 feet and a yard. Okay, so this is, each one of this is a foot. So 1 foot, 1 foot. Okay, and then this is compared to a yard. Okay, so there's 3 feet in 1 yard, and he needs 15 feet. Okay, so if we have 3 feet in 1 yard and wants to know how many yards we're going to need to get. Okay, so wait, what? Why does it have 24 here? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. All right, so he needs 9 feet for each side of the swing, okay? So the swing goes like this, right? So 9 feet here, 9 feet here. So he needs 18 feet just for the swing. And then 18, add 6 more, would be 24. Oh my goodness. You guys struggling. Okay. So 18 feet and 6. I was like, why is it 24 down here? That makes sense. Okay. So 9 feet for this side of the swing, 9 feet of rope for this side of the swing, and then he needs 6 feet for the monkey bars. So 18 and 6 is 24. Holy moly. Okay. So he needs 24 feet, and I'm going to take 24 and I'm going to divide that by 3 because there's 3 feet in 1 yard. And so this number 8 is going to tell me how many yards he needs. Okay. So we need 24, and each one of these has 3 in it. So we would need 8 of these boxes in here. Okay. So that's 8 yards. 8 yards of rope. Okay. All right, and it says, what operation did you use? We used division because we were trying to get the smaller number here, okay? Because we had a total of feet, so we were working into yards, okay? So we wanted to get to a larger total, okay? So yards have 3 feet in them, and we wanted to get to that, and so we need to cut out some of those. Well, we just needed to divide, okay, to make it into the smaller number of yards because yards has more length in it. Okay, let's go ahead and look at example 1 and 2 on the back, and I think this will make a lot more sense as we get going, so just hang tight for a minute. It says use the table to find the relationship between miles and feet. So it says 1 mile is 5,280 feet right here. And it says, how does the distance compare to 10th? Oh, the distance between the new high school and the football field is 2 miles. How does the distance compare to 10,000 feet? When you convert larger units to smaller units, you need to multiply. Okay, so convert 2 miles to feet. So I'm taking the miles, and it says that there is 5,280 in 1 mile. So I'm going to need to do 2 times 5,280, and we'll see what that is. Okay, so it says right here, I need to multiply the total number of miles by 5,280. All right, so let's go ahead and multiply that out. So 5,280 times 2, 0, 16, 5, and 10. So 10,560 feet. Okay, so 2 miles is the same as 10,560 feet. Says, right, less than, greater than, or equal to. Well, I ended up with 10,560, which is greater than the 10,000 it wants me to compare it to. So since 10,560 is greater, write it out now, than 10,000, the distance between the new high school and the football field is more or longer, is longer than 10,000 feet. All right, let's look at example 2. It says convert to mixed measures. Mixed measures use more than 1 unit of measurement. You can convert a single unit of measurement to mixed measures. It says convert 62 inches into feet and inches. So 62 inches, so I'm going to need to divide by 12. It says I am changing from a smaller unit to a larger unit, so I divide. So let's go ahead and write, well, let's finish this, so we'll write that in our notebooks, okay? So I'm going to need to divide. 62 inches divided by 12 inches in a foot. Well, 62 divided by 12 gives me 5, because 5 times 12 is 60. Okay, 5 times 12 equals 60. So then I have a remainder of 2 inches plus 2. Okay, so 62 inches is about 5 feet 2 inches. All right, pause here for that, and then let's go ahead and write that down in our notebook. So I'm going to write a couple of things. All right, so one thing to keep in mind is that larger to smaller units equals multiply. Okay, and then when you go from, sorry, I'll scooch that over. Then when you go from smaller to larger units equals divide. All right. Okay, there's one more little spot at the bottom right here. It says, explain how to convert the mixed measures 12 yards, 2 feet to a single unit of measurements in feet. How many feet is it? So I'm going to take that 12 yards and I'm going to multiply that 12 by 3 because that's going to give me how many feet are in those yards because there's 3 feet in a yard. So that gives me 36. And then I add that 2 more feet in. So I get 38 feet. Now it's all one measurement. Instead of 12 yards, 2 feet, it's just 38 feet. All right, pause here if you need that, and then let's look at some examples. Okay, this chart that we wrote down in your notebook is going to come in handy. So make sure that if you didn't get this down, you get this down. All right, so let's look at the share and show. We'll do these 3 on the share and show, and then you can work on your own. 2 miles and 2 yards. Okay, well, 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So I'm going to do 1,760. And since I'm going from miles to yards, okay, so miles is larger, and I'm going to a smaller unit of yards. I'm going to multiply by 2. So that's 0, 12, 15, 3. 3,520 yards. Okay. And then 6 yards in a foot. So 6 yards into feet. Yard to feet is going from larger to smaller, so I'm multiplying again. So 6 yards, there's 3 feet in a yard, so that's 18. 18 feet. 90 inches into feet and inches. So now I need to divide, because I'm going to take 90, divide that by 12, and find my leftover, my remainder. Oh, 12 goes into 90. What is it? 7. I think it's 7. 7 times. 7 times 2 is 14. 84. There we go. Okay, so 7, and that gives me a remainder of 6. 90 take away 84, so 7 feet 6 inches for that one. Okay, so I went from a smaller unit up to feet, which is larger. Feet are larger than inches, so I went smaller to larger, so I divided. Oh, you can't see, but that's what that. Okay. All right, so there's that. Go ahead and work on the on your own, the ones on the bottom, and the problem solving applications. There's quite a few like this on Think Central. Okay, so make sure that you look into that. Lots of homework. So on your homework, definitely evens or odds on the front, okay? Evens or odds on the front, and all 6 on the back. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to look at 10.2 and just see customary capacity. So it's kind of the same thing. 10.2 will be pretty short. We've already gone over the vocabulary, so we'll just quickly cover the capacity. So we'll write down the capacity units right here as well. And then you guys can do the share and show and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching 10.1, and I'll see you for 10.2.